Blog Talk Radio.
Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot, oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls Radio, where paranormal is normal. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and it is already April. I cannot believe it. What is it, April 5th? Oh, my goodness, here we are. And PK, how are you doing today?
Absolutely great, except I sound froggy because the winds have been blowing, and you know how Arizona is. The winds of time are taking me down.
Oh, no.
We'll get through it anyway. If people don't mind this hacking business.
Yeah.
Can't handle
really.
more
I know.
I'm waiting for our summer to burn me out.
Allergy season's here, too. Even though it's cold as can be. Oh, my God. I felt like we were going back to winter today. It was so darn cold. But everybody's sneezing, and, you know, the trees are trying to blossom. So, yeah,
well,
it's that time of year.
Oh, yes, and the winds have been enough to drop everything around. It has that dust feel to it. But it too shall pass, and then I'll be screaming it's too hot. So what the heck?
Yeah, I know, really.
I've got choices. I can sneeze or sweat. One of the two.
Right. Well, you have some interesting things to share tonight, so I'm going to let you lead off.
All righty, my dear. I was talking about the numbers that are coming on because every number in our daily life, our moods, our emotions, ideas, even accidents, everything we have to do, we cope with numbers. So there's always a tendency to deal with stress numbers because none of us are free from stress. After all, we have things we have to learn about ourselves, and we have to learn about other people as well. But if we know what's going on and how to best work with these numbers, we will succeed and get through all this, shall we say, fun. And I guess I can call it fun. I'll put a big exclamation point after that one. But whatever you plan on doing, know that we're totally surrounded by numbers in our life, whether it's our address, our bank accounts, license number, phone numbers, charge accounts. Every one of those things affect us, so we have to be aware of it. Whether we like it or not, we deal with it. So the 7 universal year that we're in makes us feel very, very tired, and we do a lot of introspection, and we don't know who to trust when this is going on. So patience is truly the key for the universal year. And you find that the key is to pay attention. Much of what you think is taking place or the influences you feel that are going on around you, it's kind of a filter to your personal year because we've got both going at the same time. So we have to kind of combine the two. However things are going to happen, we're going to get through them, make the best that we can. But you will find that your personal year will be dealt with differently for every one of us because the universal year is a 7. That makes us stop and think and try to feel more in tune with what's taking place around us. But the 7 also makes us feel suspect of someone could say hi and your first thought is, I wonder what they mean by that. So it's a combination of trusting what's taking place. And if you want to know what your personal year is, it's very simple. Add your month and day of birth together and take a look at the universal year. This year is a 7. Add the 2. That will tell you what your personal year is. If you have more questions, you can always email me. Not a problem. So that's my little tidbit for the day.
You can go to, actually, PK's website, patriciakirkman.com. And her email is there. Also, lots more information about numbers. And you can also find PK's email on our Supernatural Girls website. So you can find her easily, and I highly recommend a personal reading with PK because she is the best. Take a look at what's coming up. It's true, coming up for you this year. Because we've had some crazy stuff going on. We're still watching it. And I don't even want
Remember,
to talk about it.
The 7th also deals with secrets being made known, as well as some deceit and deception. All we have to do is turn on the TV and we're face-to-face and nose-to-nose with it, right?
Well, yeah, it's really incredible. And I was just listening about another interview that was conducted in court with Leonardo DiCaprio, of all people, testifying about a $30 million donation that was given to Barack Obama. And it was interesting because what was brought up about this is apparently quite scandalous in some way and probably against the law, and people aren't talking about it. So there's a lot that is hidden, like you said, but secrets being made known, this could be another one. So very interesting stuff. And on our homepage, supernaturalgirls.com, you will find lots of different health-related things that you can purchase at a discount. So feel free to go there. We have a vitamin line that's all liquid. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of taking pills. I'm too old to take that many pills. So it's better for me to do. Yeah, I can't swallow the darn things. And then if you try to like crush them up, they taste terrible. Ugh. But this brand of liposomal vitamins, they absorb quickly. It's a liquid, and you will get a discount if you click on the link from our site, Supernatural Girls, and use the code Supernatural Girls. You'll get a substantial amount off. And along with that, we also have, of course, the Energy Machine, which is incredible for people who want to work with photosynthesized oxygen, either personally or in their spa or wellness center. That's on our homepage. And, of course, we have Dr. Weber's brand new Endolight band, which is a super powerful laser that you wear on your wrist. Looks like a Fitband. And it is 7 times more powerful than his earlier version, the Spectra Plus watch, which I've used for years, and I swear by that thing. But I've gotten that Endoband in the last few weeks. I've been using it every day. It is truly an incredible thing. I don't know how he got this to miniaturize, to be able to wear on your wrist, to have such a powerful effect on your entire bloodstream. But somehow, Dr. Weber made it happen. And we're going to have him back on the show to talk more about this invention and others that he has in the works so that you can understand how powerful this is and how to use it for yourself. So on our website, if you're interested, you have questions, send us an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can. And also, you will get a discount. So you can click on that link, and if you're interested in the investment of that Endolight band, then you can do it right from our website and get money off your purchase.
That's a double header. You've been raving about it for years, which I think is wonderful.
Yeah. It really is, and the way he's designed the new one, it's incredible. So you can use it to go to sleep, you can use it to wake up, you can use it for health. There's 3 different modes, but the lasers that he has chosen to use are super powerful, and so you feel it. You feel there's a big difference there. Anyways, it's just a great invention, and like I always say, if you want to be healthy, take health into your own hands. Nobody's going to do it for you. There's no magic pill, and the doctors aren't going to want to take time to figure out what's going on with you. So you got to learn how to do it yourself. We're all moving in that direction now. So take a look at the Endolight band. It's tremendous. So I am going to play you a little commercial about it, and then we're going to introduce our incredible guest, who is a very famous medium from Scotland, who's joining us now. And it is so late at night there. We thank him so much for staying up late just to talk to our audience. And in the moment we're done with this commercial, we'll be right back to introduce you to Stephen Cranston.
The health benefits of sunlight to our body are well known. Light energizes, light lifts your mood, and light can heal. What if all these benefits were combined into one portable device that you can use in the comfort of your home? The German medical device manufacturer Weber Medical has recently launched the Endolight Band. The Endolight Band looks like a smartwatch, but does so much more. This revolutionary band is equipped with true laser diodes that irradiate the circulating blood via your arteries. Each color provides its own powerful benefits. Red and infrared light deliver energy and regulate your immune system and blood pressure. Yellow is a real mood booster and improves sleep quality. Green impacts oxygen supply, and blue has anti-inflammatory effects. The Endolight Band has 3 programs. Recharge helps you start your day with energy. If you want to unwind and clear your head after a busy day, select Relax. When you need full support, select Recover, activating all diodes at the same time for the full range of effects. Improve your well-being at the touch of a button. 30 minutes per day gives you the advantage, and there are no side effects. Let the Endolight Band bring you a healthier life. Order now at www.wmedicalsystems.com. That's www.wmedicalsystems.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Supernatural Girls Radio. Tonight we are going to be speaking with Stephen Cranston. He is joining us all the way from Scotland. He is a world-famous medium, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him. He's got a brand new book out. It is called In Between Two Worlds, A New Approach to Mediumship, and he's known as the Soul Man. We're going to find out why. And he's going to talk to us about learning how to become a medium, which I'm surprised. I didn't even know you could learn. I thought you either were born that way or forget it. But he's going to give us a whole other perspective on this. And so he, again, is known as the Soul Man, and he is from Scotland. He's very well known there, and he has connected with spirits since birth. And later he trained with the Spiritualist National Union, and he began to see his own, feel and change and seek his own understanding of the unseen world. But kindness is what underlies everything he does. And so I'm not going to waste any more time talking about Stephen. I'm going to let you hear from the Soul Man himself. So Stephen, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's lovely to
Thank you for coming on the show.
Everyone else. No, you're very, very welcome. It's very late here. It's almost 1 a.m., but it's worth it.
Wow, 1 a.m. Oh, my God. Well, I thank you again for staying up so late just to talk with us and our audience. We're very happy to have you here. So tell us about you. I know everybody likes to know how this started, and according to your book, this started at birth, but how do you know it started at birth? Do you have memories that far back?
Yeah, I don't ever remember a time where I wasn't aware of the spirit world. And even before my memory, both of my parents have reported that I was that little child who would put their arms up to invisible forces and chat away to people who weren't there. And yeah, so even before my memory, my parents were speaking about things that were going on. So yeah.
So your parents both your parents were also a part of this, or just your mom? I know you talked a lot about your mother helping you with this.
Yeah, my mother was more accepting of it because I later found out that my mother was also a medium, but my dad was absolutely terrified of it. So
oh boy,
he was terrified that his child was seeing things that he couldn't see. So yeah, I think that's why I speak more about my mum in the book, because she understood. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he try to talk you out of this, or not?
Yeah, my dad, right through my whole childhood, my dad thought that there was something not quite right. But you know, I couldn't change what I was seeing and feeling and experiencing, and yeah, so I always stuck with that and trusted it.
Do you feel that kind of created a wedge between you and your dad?
I think so, yeah. I think it definitely did create a wedge between us. I would say that the older that I've got, now my dad is, he absolutely loves what I do. He's my biggest fan. And I think it's because he sees the people's lives that are changed by the work that I do. So, yeah, I think, they say seeing is believing, and, my dad's seen the evidence of the work that I do. So, yeah, he had no option but to...
Yeah. He couldn't talk you out of it. He just couldn't do it. Yeah. So that's good that you went on about your business and your mom was so supportive. And you talk about the different stages that you went through with all of this in the book, and it's really an interesting journey. But your primary focus that you reiterate several times in the book is all about helping people. That's the reason for doing this. So tell us more about that.
So I truly believe that as human beings we need connection with each other. We need to feel connected to each other. And the easiest way of doing that is to be kind. Kindness is always something that's felt very natural to me. It's easier to be kind than it is to be not kind. So what was the question again? I've went down a...
Well, I just wanted to know more about what motivates you, because you talk about what motivates you in the book, and what is so important to you is to be kind and to help people. That your primary goal with the work that you do as a medium is to help people. So that's great, because it's a lot of media, a lot of television about this kind of thing likes to scare people with it. They find it more entertaining to frighten people than they do to heal people with these kinds of topics in the paranormal world. But a lot of people come to you, I would imagine, for closure. They've lost somebody. They didn't get to finish saying whatever they needed or wanted to say. So you can provide a great service, I'm sure you do, with people that have suddenly lost someone or even over time lost someone and just never got to say the things they wanted to. So do you have any stories to share about those kinds of experiences?
Yeah, just to touch on what you'd said there, that that the media can sometimes view the work that we do in, I guess, a negative light. I don't ever see that. I think I might be blissfully unaware of that, but I just expect everybody to understand what we do. I don't see why anybody wouldn't, but then I guess that's maybe I live in this little mediumship bubble, I guess.
Yes.
But when it comes to sitting with people and working with people, I truly believe that the medium's job is to prove the existence of the human soul beyond reasonable doubt, and that would be by giving evidence of how the person lived their life, what the person's character is, how the person passes, how the person feels, and really building up a very strong picture of who that person was as they lived, rather than speaking about things that have happened after they've passed. Because the way that I see this is, if we can build up that very strong picture of who that person is, how they lived, how they passed away, that's the evidence that people can understand. But if we're giving them things like, oh, well, your dad says just go and sell your house, that's evidence that's coming after life, and it can't necessarily be verified, whereas the other information can all be verified by the person. Right. And I think that sometimes mediums and psychics can get themselves into sticky situations by giving people advice like sell your house, separate from your partner, sell your car, go and do these crazy life-altering things. When I don't think I've ever had anyone from the spirit world telling someone to end a relationship or to sell their home or to make any kind of life-altering decision. So, yeah. I'm
that's
going
a very
off
good
on a
point.
tangent with that, but
no, you're not. You really brought up as a very important point. I think that when you choose to work with a medium, you should make sure that it's somebody that isn't going to be doing those kinds of things, because that really isn't the purpose. And so you're raising a very important point for people to understand when they go searching for someone to make that connection for them into another world. They're not supposed to be giving advice. Yeah, right. I don't think I've ever heard that either, where they tell you such severe types of things to undertake. So,
I've heard that. I could tell you.
It's a good thing to know.
Lots of stories. yeah. But it does happen. There is people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sure.
On you go.
No, that's right. So for you as a medium, people come to you, and what's the most? What do they want? Why do they come to you?
I think people want evidence. People need to sit and understand that I have absolutely brought forward the essence of that person. And I think that's the most important thing, is for people to have the evidence of who the person was. And then when we can give that kind of evidence, it then builds the trust, because then the person knows, well, absolutely, that is my loved one. So then we're able to then work through whatever it is that we need to work through. And sometimes people are grieving and they need, a bit of counselling. They need to be reassured that their loved one is okay. Because a lot of the time, and I've said this in the book as well, that a huge big message that the spirit world want to put across to the living is that they are okay.
And I find that so silly, because why wouldn't they be?
Yeah, absolutely. But a lot of people worry about their loved ones. They worry that where are they and who are they with, and when the spirit world can give you that evidence of, like, this is who they're with, I think that's a really powerful thing as well. And I guess every single reading is different. I couldn't say that everyone is the same, because over the years I've done thousands of readings with people, and every one has been very different.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah. I mean, because you're talking about the individual, so certainly they would be vastly different. What stands out in your mind when you think about all the readings you've done over the years, and you've done many? Are there any that you think of that were quite spectacular you could share with us? Obviously not give us a name, but we'd love to hear.
See, I think they're all spectacular. I love all of the sittings that I do, but that if there's many that stand out. There's one that I'd written about in the book, and that was a lady had came along for a sitting, and I'd sat down with her, and straight away the first thing that I was seeing in my mind was the Tasmanian Devil.
Oh.
The Tasmanian Devil from the kids' cartoon.
Yeah.
Do you have that in the States? Yeah.
Yep. We do.
So I kept seeing the Tasmanian Devil over and over in my mind, and I'm thinking, what is this? So I said to the lady, would you understand why I'm seeing the Tasmanian Devil? And the lady, she stood up and she said, thank you so much. And she put her money down on the table for her sitting, and she went away. And it wasn't until later. Yeah, that was it. That was it. She walked away. She said, "Thank you so much." And I'm sitting thinking, what is this? So we later found out that she had a password or a code word with her mum, and that code word was, her mum said, "If it's me and I come from the afterlife, I will say Tasmanian devil." So that's all the lady. Yeah, that's all the lady needed to hear. Yeah.
That is
She didn't need the rest of the evidence. She just needed the code word.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
What a great story. Yeah, I love that. That's amazing.
Lots of other things as well. You know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but you know, I've sat. In fact, I'll tell you a story. So I was sitting doing a reading for a lady, and it was her mother again, and giving her the message from her mum, and she was quite upset. And I'd said to her, I said, you know, it feels to me like your mum's not quite at rest yet. She feels a little like unrested for whatever reason. She feels a bit agitated, and that's something that I've never really experienced. But then we found out after the reading, she shared that her mother was actually in the funeral home just maybe 300 steps down the road.
Oh my
So
goodness.
her mother hadn't actually even had the funeral. She was in the funeral home down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Now, when people come to you and you bring up an interesting question here, and their relative, the loved one, has just passed, do you tell them they need to wait a few days or a week before you actually speak with them, or are you able to speak with them like you did with this lady, just pick her out right away? Is it better to wait?
I think it depends on the person. It depends on the soul, I guess, because if the person who's passed has been quite accepting of their death, then they can come through straight away to a medium. If the person who's passed has had a more difficult passing, I believe that they get support and help, just like you would hear on this side of life from, you know, counsellors, helpers, that type of thing, to help them to come to terms with their passing. So I think it just depends on what the person's experience of death was.
Well,
Does
one
that
of the
make
questions
sense?
we get, yes, it does. And so I'll bring up a difficult passing. A lot of people want to know what happens with people that commit suicide. That would be a difficult passing, I would think.
Yeah, definitely, I would think.
Yeah, so again, same thing. I'd actually done a video on our TikTok the other day about this, so it's really fresh. And a girl had commented on one of our TikTok videos because her partner had passed with suicide. So when someone completes suicide, usually that person would need lots of support on that side of life. There's no hellfire, no damnation, you know, nothing awful happens to our soul if we choose to take our life. But what happens is there's helpers, just like there would be here on this side of life, doctors, counsellors, whoever these people may be, and also our loved ones who have already passed, who come to our aid at that time and help us and support us the best that they possibly can. So think of it like if someone was to fall in the street in front of you, what would you do?
Help them get out of the street.
Right.
They'll get run over.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So when a soul passes to the spirit world who has had that traumatic passing, the spirit world, our loved ones, the people who adore us and love us, they rush to our aid and help us on that side of life. So it makes absolute sense. So
have you communicated with people have you communicated with people who've committed suicide, and how do they feel about it after they're on the other side? People are very curious about that. Like, once they do this act and they take themselves out of this physical life, is it a lot of regret? I'm sure it's individual, but, is it a regretful experience? Like, gosh, I wish I didn't do that. Or is it a relief? Or what do you find when you talk to them about it?
I think it's a mixed bag, really. And again, it all depends on the individual. Some people have connected with many people who have passed by completing suicide, and some people will be very, I wished I'd had some help when I was here. Some people will be, I wasn't made for this life, and that's okay. I accept that. And some people have a bit of both, I guess. I guess it always depends on the individual, doesn't it? So, yeah. But usually the sitter would always agree, if I've sat with someone and they've lost a son or, a partner or whoever it may be to suicide, I would usually say, this person either was very accepting of that, or they needed lots of help, and that help they couldn't get here in life. I remember one really stuck out for me, and it was a lady who had lost her son, and she had tried and tried so many ways to help the boy. He was just, there'd been so many different things that they'd done to help him, but he didn't want to be here. Life was too hard for him, and she got a lot of peace knowing that he felt more at ease because he was able to get the help and support that he needed on that side of life rather than the suffering that he experienced here.
Interesting.
And again, I guess it just depends,
Yeah, right, it would depend. Now, you talk in your book, and I'm going to give the title of the book again because it's right here in front of me with this beautiful cover on it, In Between Two Worlds, A New Approach to Mediumship. And you talk in the book about angels. And tell us your experience with angels. Let's hear about that.
So, interestingly, I'd never ever, I had always been aware of the spirit world, but I had never had any kind of experience with angels. And unless it had happened to me, I would say that, no, I don't believe that could happen. But I was, my very first experience with an angel, my wife is Catholic, and we were at church in Mass, and the priest was anointing the people with the oil that they use, and there was this huge, beautiful angel standing behind the priest. And to this day, I've never seen an image of a being like that to this day. And he was standing there with his hands on the priest's shoulders. So I said to my wife and my mother-in-law, guys, I can see an angel standing behind the priest. And they both looked at me like, Stephen, are you okay? Because they obviously weren't seeing that. And then afterwards, what happened is, how you go for, I don't know if you do this in the States, but after church, you go for a cup of tea and a biscuit. So,
do you
and then
do
the
that,
priest
PK?
comes around and...
Wait, let me just ask PK, is that something that you did?
Yes, I did. Not necessarily the biscuit, but yes, definitely.
But you went for the cup of tea after the service. Okay, I needed to know. All right. So yes, we do that here in the U.S.
Tea and biscuits. So the priest came and everybody's hand, and he came up to us, and I said, were you aware of what was going on there? And he turned to my wife and I, and he said, the angel, you mean? So he knew that there was an angel standing behind him. And my wife and my mother-in-law just looked at me in complete shock. And they would sit here today and tell you that same story. And yeah. So yeah, that was my experience with an angel, yeah. Or my first experience. I've had many since, but yeah.
That is an incredible experience. And so the priest knew all about it, so he clearly had a relationship with that angel. And you were saying in the book as well that you really liked sitting in church, that it was a peaceful place and a spiritually powerful place.
Yeah. Yeah, I love any place of worship. See, any, whether it's church or whether it's a mosque or, wherever it is, I think when you sit in a place where people pray and people have faith and belief and they connect spiritually to their God, to their loved ones, I think that's a really powerful place to be. And I love to sit in any kind of religious space. I love the hospitals. You know how they have these multi-faith spaces. I love to sit in hospital in a multi-faith space and just feel the connection and the memories and the love that exists in these places.
Did you feel like that as a child as well?
Yeah.
Did you have the same emotions as a child?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never really understood religion because I can take truth from every religion. I've always been fascinated by people's belief and understanding. And I think it all is one. I think it's all this one universal love. Yeah.
It is.
It would be
yes,
good if
you're right.
all together someday.
I know, really. Yeah, really. We're trying. At least some of us are. So that was your first experience.
I don't try, I just accept.
There you go. That's even better.
Say that again, Patricia. Sorry, I'm talking over you.
It's okay. No. I know there's a bit of a delay, too, because you are in Scotland. And anyways, it's so interesting that was your first experience of an angel. And after that, you said you had more experiences. So share with us how this evolved. How did you experience your next visitation or vision of an angel?
So the next experience with angels, I was walking. We were going to the pub after work, myself and my workmates, for a few drinks after work. And I was walking across the main road in Edinburgh, where you could see Edinburgh Castle as well in the distance. I know that'll excite you ladies. But as we were crossing the road, I was standing on the island in the middle of the road, and these two men appeared either side of me, and they knew my name. They spoke to me and reassured me, and they just were. The only way that I could describe it is time stopped in that moment. Now, what's really fascinating, and you guys are the first ones to know this as well, is that my school friend, who I've been friends with him since we were maybe 5 years old, he has just recently read the book, and he was there that night that I stopped in the middle of the road. And I'd asked him, what did you see that night when I was in the middle of the road? And he said, Stephen, you just stood there looking from side to side, looking really confused. And you were obviously speaking to someone, but I didn't have a clue who you were speaking to. So he witnessed and observed that, but for me it was happening, in real time, and I couldn't understand why he wasn't able to see them. So yeah. Mm-hmm. That was my next experience, and I knew that these two men, I knew that they were highly evolved beings. I knew that they weren't just spirit people. They had this energy, this aura that I haven't felt before.
Yeah, it sounds like they had a lot of purpose. So there was some big purpose there with them. Yeah, very interesting. And in your book, you talk about people need to call on angels because angels fulfill their work orders when we ask them for help. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so if, I always say that angels cannot interfere with your free will. So you need to give an angel permission to help you. So it's always important that you give them permission and you say, angels, I give you permission to help me with this specific thing. And when you give that permission and you're specific, they will help you. And I think there's important factors that we need to put in play as well with that, is that, if the thing that you're looking for, if it's not for your greater good, they won't help you with it. If it's something that's going to cause harm, they won't help you with it. It's always for your greater good and the evolution of your soul. That's the way that I see it.
Okay. So, and sometimes we don't know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there absolutely.
A specific angel we would ask for different things, or do we let it be their choice who's to come to us?
I would. So you have all of the different archangels. You've got the many different levels of angels. I would say just go for the simple guys. Go for the angels that work closely with you. The angels that call them guardian angels, call them human angels. Use those guys first.
They know us best.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing what you get if you ask for help. But more importantly as well, I think that our loved ones work very closely with us first. They always want us to be doing well and want us to be moving through life and feeling good.
Well, that's good. They're on our side, so that's a good thing. They want the best for us. And sometimes we don't know if something's in our greater good or not, so I guess you're saying leave it up to them to either help you if it is or they won't help you if it isn't. Did you ever have a client come in to see you that brought their angel with them, like the priest, that had a big angel working with them, behind them, or whatever?
Yeah, so if I've ever experienced that or felt that with anybody, I would just say, I feel or sense an angel or a higher being with you. Obviously, you just need that support right now. But I wouldn't go into too much detail with it because that's not evidence-based mediumship. Because I cannot prove the existence of that angel to that person with evidence that the person may have. Does that make sense? So
yeah, because it sounds like you're looking for more personal information. Like, I see your Uncle Charlie, he's wearing his green suit again that everybody hated. And then they verify, they had an Uncle Charlie who had this horrid green suit that everybody hated. So then there's some validation there before you go on with the reading. So I see what you do. So, yes, you have quite an unusual style and approach to this. So I'm really glad that you're here with us to talk about this. It's very interesting. And now, here's a question for you. What if somebody wants to do a reading with you? They're in Scotland and they're here in the U.S. Can they reach you by Skype or Zoom or something like that for their own reading with you?
Well, I have a private jet that I fly all around. I'm joking. I don't. I don't have a private jet. But no, you can book it. You can book a reading with me on Zoom. We use Zoom, and if that is something that anybody wanted to do anywhere in the world, I do work with people in the US. I work with people in Australia, all over the world. So it's really nice. Sometimes I can be in 4 or 5 different countries in one day.
Wow, that's fun, huh? Travel the world.
Yeah. It's great.
That's terrific.
I'd rather do it in a private jet, but...
I know, really. That was... Yes, that's certainly true. So when people come to you and you help them for whatever reason they're coming to you for, do they generally walk away feeling like one session was enough, or do they want to come back and talk to these loved ones again? What do you find with that? Is it repetitive, repeat, or not? Just once is enough? No,
so I always say that if I should be able to give someone the best reading so that person should never need another reading from me ever again. I don't want repeat business. I want people to, of course, tell their friends and for their friends to then come and see me. But I think that if I'm seeing someone all the time, I get to know way too much. And then that then creates reasonable doubt. You know what I said in the beginning there, that a medium's job is to prove the existence of the human soul beyond reasonable doubt. So if I know too much information about the person, there's reasonable doubt. So I prefer to know nothing about the person. They come along for the reading, and I give them the reading, and then that reading should be to such a level where that person has the validation that their loved one is okay, and they don't need to see me ever again.
That's very interesting. Yes, I like it. That's terrific. Yeah. Really terrific. Now, have you ever encountered when you're doing readings that somebody brings in a negative entity, something that's been bothering them, harassing them, that doesn't belong there, that's become attached to them? Do you ever see anything like that?
Never. I have never, ever experienced any negative spirit people around people. And I don't know why. I've certainly experienced negative spirit people in other spaces, but I truly believe that our loved ones in the spirit world do not let negative people near us. Now, I'm going to go back to the same thing that I said. If someone in the street was walking towards you and looking very aggressive and coming at you, what would you do?
Run.
You would cross the street, wouldn't you? Or you would run.
Yeah.
Avoid.
Yeah. So it's exactly the same. If there's a negative person trying to attach themselves to us spiritually, our loved ones are going to be like, whoa, out you go, get away, stay away from them. They're going to do everything they can to protect us. But we're also going to feel that, and we're going to feel like we need to get away from that energy. Make sense?
It does make sense, but I know a lot of people talk about finding out that they have something that's negative, and that they want to get help with getting rid of it. So, yeah, I think, PK, we've heard that a lot, haven't we?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we've heard that
sometimes
from a lot of people.
Sometimes our human mind can get in the way as well. You know, I believe that like attracts like, so if we are in that negative space, we perhaps need to do the work on ourselves emotionally, physically, and then usually spiritually, whatever that is, detaches itself because it doesn't have anything to feed off.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So
a lot of those things want that negative energy, the anger, the grief that never goes away, those kinds of things. Yeah. Have you ever helped Have you ever helped the police find a missing person or find a murderer?
Yeah, so with the police, I have worked with the police a couple of times, and the police in the UK, they're not as accepting of the work that we do.
Yeah.
Publicly accepting, but they still do listen. They still will take whatever it is that we give and work with it. Now, it's my belief that, I shouldn't be guiding the police to where missing people are or anything like that, because my job is to work with a human soul as a medium, not as a psychic. Although I do have psychic ability, so I believe that I shouldn't be helping the police. I think that I should be allowing the police to do their jobs, and I do my job in helping the people connect with their loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that helps.
So it's not.
But that's
it's not one of your favorite things to do. It sounds like you'd rather not do that kind of work.
No, because I think that the police can do a better job than I can do. And the only reason I say that is because I can't give enough evidence to prove what they want to see or do with that. Does that make sense? So, I would basically be going to the police and saying, so I had a dream, or I have a really strong feeling, and for me, that's not concrete enough to go to the police for that. If I'd seen someone, stabbing someone or doing a awful crime, then I would go to the police. But if I've felt that and experienced that psychically or spiritually, I think that it's important that the police do their work.
So when you do your work and you talk to somebody who's been murdered, what do they have to say? Do they want their family to know what really happened? I mean, are they, still hoping somebody will find their body? What do they say to you?
I've not ever worked with anybody who has been murdered and missing. I have worked with people who have been murdered by their partners or by friends. And usually there is that acceptance as well. Usually that this person has, as they've passed over to the spirit world, they get lots of help and lots of support and lots of counselling from their loved ones, and whoever those helpers are on the spirit side of life, they'll help and support that person so that that person can then accept that, they have passed. And usually, and only in my experience, is that, the spirit world, they don't want vengeance, because all there is there is love. It's the human that's this side of life that causes the problems and the difficulty in humanity. When we move to that side of life, it's just all positive and good. But only in my experience, Yeah.
No,
so it's more about acceptance rather than go and catch them and kill them and, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. And I haven't ever experienced that.
Now you have children, right?
I do, yeah.
How many?
I have 5 children.
5.
Oh, bless you. You got a handful.
5
You're outnumbered, you and your wife.
Amazing children. Yeah.
Now, how do they feel about all of this? Do any of them share your gift?
Yeah, I think they all definitely feel when the spirit world are around. Now, I've never once ever spoken about it to my children. You know, when they were young, I wanted them to experience things for themselves, just like my mum did with me. And every one of them has had spiritual experiences where they've sensed and seen and felt the spirit world around them. So, yeah. And I think every child does. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so. You know, I think that they do have some of the potential to do that. But here's another question, because in your book, you are actually saying that people can learn how to be a medium. And I'm very curious about that, because I know on our show, PK and I, we've talked at length about, can everybody do this, or is everybody born with this? And I don't think so. What do you think, PK?
No, I definitely don't think so, because if they do, it's very deeply buried. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's people like you, Stephen, that have an extraordinary talent. It's in your lineage. It's in your family. It's like a genetic enhancement that you have. But in your book, you talk about actually people can learn how to tune in to their loved ones. And so you give some ideas on how to do that. But I think that's very different from actually being a medium like you are.
Yeah, so I believe that every single person can connect with their loved ones in the spirit world. And the reason being is that we are all spirit people here and now with a body. So the only thing that separates us from the spirit world is our physical body. So in order for us to be able to connect with the spirit world, we need to get our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, and our spiritual well-being all in order and in a good place. And when we can do that, and when we can slow our mind down, and when we can come from a place of love and acceptance, we're then able to connect the two worlds. And every single person on the planet can do it, because we are all spirit people. The only bit that gets in the way is the body. So I don't believe that I am special or more special than anyone else. I do believe that everybody can connect, but I don't believe that everybody has the ability to be able to sit with someone and give a responsible sitting well. So there's the difference. I believe everybody can connect, and everybody can feel the spirit world, and they can connect to their own loved ones. But I don't think that everybody on the planet can sit there and give a valuable session done with integrity, done with kindness, done with respect, and done with what's most important to me is personal responsibility. So that's what I believe makes a very special medium, is someone who can work with all of these things and work with the other person's best interests at heart.
That makes sense.
But as far as feeling the spirit world, everybody can do it.
Well,
yes.
A lot of us
blow your mind?
Voids there.
Gosh.
Because the only bit that separates us from them is the body.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So this has been just a wonderful evening, Stephen, and we can't thank you enough for staying up so late at night in Scotland just to talk to us about all of this. It's a wonderful book. Yeah. The name of the book again is In Between Two Worlds, A New Approach to Mediumship. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say that I've loved chatting with you ladies tonight. It's been so nice. And if you do want to get the book as well, I believe it is in Barnes & Noble in the US as well. So
yes, it's online. You can get it on Amazon. Yeah, you can get it on Amazon and these big bookstores like Barnes & Noble. You'll recognize it immediately because it's got a gorgeous cover with a dragonfly on it in a blue-green. It's very pretty. It's very pretty.
So
Whoever designed it did a beautiful job.
So the lovely lady who designed it is Becca. She's such a nice woman. She's so lovely. And she is an artist. She actually lives in Canada, in Nova Scotia.
Oh.
So yeah, she came over to Scotland and spent the whole day with us and seen how we worked, and she was just blown away and fascinated, and she's wonderful. So she's Glowbug Design, and you can go and check it out, and she's just amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
that's great.
Fantastic. Yeah, you're lucky that you had her do this. It's a beautiful cover. And again, the name of the book is In Between Two Worlds, A New Approach to Mediumship, by our guest, Stephen Cranston, also known as the Soul Man. This has been great, Stephen. Thank you so much. And gosh, you're going to have to come back. You probably have another book you're writing at some point, and so please let us know. And it's been an absolute delight, to have you here with us. So
Book
thank
2
you.
is pending. Okay, thank you, ladies.
Well,
okay.
I guess we can say good night, right?
Yeah, we're going to be heading off to our next adventure, and next week we're going to be talking about how our history isn't really what we think it is. We've got James Martin joining us, and he's calling in from France. So we're very international, ladies these days, and so so you will be hearing from James about what really happened. And until then, everybody, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another radio adventure with Supernatural.